they'll spread it out. They'll run, 4 lineouts in there like they have done in the past too. But they do a better job of balancing things out offensively with a running pass. I think you'll see Peacock getting the ball quite a bit, plus off of him they'll be running play action and running some run and shoot style offense to get things opened up.
As far as their defense is concerned, what kind of packages will they set in?
Well, the last few years they've been running a 4-3, and that's predominantly what their base defense is, and they'll run a 4-2 look out of that on different days. So those are things they like to run a 3 deep coverage. They'll run some 2 deep. And every now and again, you'll see some man because I'm sure they'll feel like in order to be effective against our defense, they're going to have to give some blitzes, and we'll probably see some man coverage.
Good luck. We'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you, Rob.
Keith Fairfield has been our guest. Back with the start of the ball game right after this. Rob Evans with Darren Cates back at Kennedy Stadium on the Parkview High School campus. The Crusaders have elected to, actually I think Mid-America won the toss, defer to the second half, so the Crusaders will get the football first. Dexter Wilson is the referee today. Woodson Warren the umpire. Gary Hinton the linesman. The line judge is Bruce Whiteside. The field judge is James Maluski, and the back judge Greg Reynolds. As we get this one underway, 53 degrees under overcast skies, winds out of the north at 9 miles an hour, and the kick is going to be taken by Morris Cannon, one of the upmen at the 35-yard line. He'll get out over the 40, and he's going to be stopped on the 43-yard line, first down and 10 for the Crusaders at that point. Take a look at the Crusader offense led by quarterback Eric Black, who has thrown for over 500 yards this year. And he's going to have in the starting backfield, David Baker will be running out of the tailback spot. Warren Honore will be running out of the fullback spot. Pat Turner and Brandon Schmidley both go wide to the right side of the field. The starting tight end is Blake Bunning this afternoon, and he's in tight on the left. Crusaders dressed in their maroon home uniforms. From the 44-yard line, first down and 10, play action fake. Black's going long. He's got Turner out there and overthrows him at the 15-yard line.
Well, Coach mentioned before the game that this is something that they may do right off the bat. And on this first series especially, it's important to try to get something going and try to get a score early. When you get on a field playing surface of this case, this situation, the earlier you can score, the better, because as the game goes along, the field's going to get worse and worse.
And with no rain falling this afternoon, it's not going to deteriorate during the game like we saw in some games last night on TV on the high school level.
The ball handling won't be as bad, but the footing may get worse.
Out of an offset eye with both receivers wide to the right side on 2nd down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Black is going to turn and hand the ball to David Baker. Baker hit at the 45, and he'll be dropped in his tracks. So that'll be a gain of about a yard, 3rd down and 9. The down linemen for the Crusaders, John Walkup and Alex Bryant. The tackles, Ken Holmes and Dustin Kennard. The guards, and Shad McGuire, the center. For the Crusaders, as they celebrate homecoming 1994, the Crusaders this year, and coming into homecoming with an 8-8-1 record in 17 seasons during homecoming activities, and most of them have been celebrated right here at Kennedy Stadium. Out of a shotgun with 3 men out of the pass pattern. The snap is high, but Black corrals. He's got time. He guns it over the middle. His receiver, Brandon Schmidley, slipped and fell. It looked for a moment like he was going to be able to catch the ball, but it squirted free, and it'll bring up a punting situation.
Yeah, he made the right decision that time as Mid-America dropped into their 2 deep. They were in the 3 deep earlier. There they went 2 deep zone on him. So he found the man in the middle of the field, Brandon Schmidley. And again, maybe on a drier day, he comes up with that ball. But like I said, he slipped as he's getting ready to make the catch.
Back deep to receive Matt Ragsdale's punt. He is Early Nash. And also back deep to receive for Mid-America Nazarene is Joel Coker. Ragsdale averaging 38.2 yards per kick this year. The snap is a good one, and the kick is a high spiral. It is going to bounce at the 20-yard line and roll inside the 10 down at the 9. And as I say that, you've got 2 referees, or 2 of the officials spotting the ball. I think it was touched back at about the 17 or 18-yard line and then knocked backwards. So they're going to bring the ball out to the 18. They'll make it the 17-yard line, and that's where Mid-America Nazarene will have the ball 1st down and 10. That kick good for 38 yards. Danny Seibert is the quarterback for Mid-America Nazarene. He's thrown for 421 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only been intercepted twice. And his favorite receiver is Early Nash. He's caught 22 of the 39 passes Mid-America Nazarene has completed this year. On the 1st down play, the quarterback, Seibert, is going to keep the ball, trying to get to the left corner, and he can't do it. Get a gain of about a yard out of it. Maybe 2. We'll go 2nd down and 8 as it starts to rain here at JFK.
Interesting to call that time. They come out with a no huddle and then run the option. Usually you see a team come out in the no huddle, they're going to air the ball out a little bit. They decide to keep it on the ground.
With a single back set, that single back is Jermaine Peacock. And he starts to lean into motion as he gets the handoff. A flag is thrown. Sam Dollar wraps him up as he gets out to the 25. And Peacock is tackled on the 26-yard line. He's rushed for 374 yards and 4 touchdowns this year, but he was leaning in motion before the snap and could not right himself, so that play will probably be taken off the board and illegal procedure called. The Crusaders defensively with Michael Odom and Jay Hellwig, the defensive ends. Jay Hellwig, the National Defensive Player of the Week for his efforts last Saturday at Benedictine. Had 8 tackles, 3 for losses, and had 3 sacks. Ryan Helton and John Oglesby are the tackles, and Billy Boston gets the start at the nose guard spot. Sam Dollar and Harvey Berrien, the linebackers, on the 2nd down. 13 yards to go. Seibert's going to roll to the near side and pass. He'll swing it out of the pass. Is tipped and then caught by Early Nash. The ball was tipped, and then it was tipped by Anthony Dixon, the free safety, who I think was thinking of the interception. And then the ball went through his fingertips, and Nash catches it at the 29-yard line. That'll be good for a 1st down for Mid-America Nazarene.
Yeah, the Crusaders really played it well. It was dropped into the zone. Really a poorly thrown ball, actually, but you get the tip, get the deflection, then you still get the catch. It still counts as a 1st down.
So the ball on the 29-yard line, 1st down and 10 out of the I formation. The handoff to Peacock. The ball is loose, and I believe Sam Dollar comes out of there with it, and the Crusaders have the football.
Well, Mid-America got the break on the play before on the deflection, but here, put the ball on the ground, and the ball bounces the Crusaders' way. Now they have the ball in excellent field position.
So Evangel with the first turnover of the day. They have the ball on the 28-yard line. Evangel working on a 12-game winning streak at home. We have 10 of the games at SMS at Plaster Sports Complex. 2 of the games, one right here at JFK. Black under center out of the offset eye. The handoff to David Baker. And Baker goes straight ahead and does not get much. Jason Watkins and Jeremy Bobb for the defensive ends for the Pioneers. Todd Barnett, Jason Stansberry, the tackles, and Anthony Liggins, the nose guard. Dave Campbell and Michael Burge, the linebackers, and then the 4 deep secondary of Joel Coker and Ryan Knight of the corners, and Tim Essex and Chris Dye at the safety spots. Loss of a yard on that play, second down to the 11. Turner wide right. Pastina wide left, and Black hands it off to Warren Honore, and he may get the yard back that Baker lost. And so once again this afternoon, the running game off to a slow start.
And that time it was off to a slow start because they got off to a slow start off the snap. And really the timing was bad, as it looked like Honore bumped into Black as he was getting the inside handoff. And just when you can't get things going at full speed at the line of scrimmage, you're not going to get any much yardage, so to speak, running the football.
So the Crusaders look at third down and 10. They'll put Baker in the slot to the near side. Trastina wide left, Turner wide right. Honore the lone setback. Black to pass. The blitz is on, and down he goes back at the 35-yard line. And blitzing through to put the hit on is Jason Watkins, who sometimes will line up as a standing defensive end, and other times he'll be a linebacker, and that time nobody found him. Nobody touched him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That time he was a standing linebacker, but then he cheated up at the snap and came up to his defensive end, and no one accounted for him. He came in untouched on Black, and Black had no chance to elude in.
So it's 4th down and 17 with 10.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. And Matt Ragsdale is going to drop back into punt formation, standing back at his own, or at the Mid-America 47-yard line. He'll hit this one from about the 42. It's a high punt. Fair catch is called for and made back at the 5-yard line. That catch made by Joel Coker. Not very often that you'll see a team elect to take the fair catch and make that catch inside the 10-yard line. Rule of thumb is to usually let it bounce.
Yeah, if you put yourself on the 10-yard line and let yourself go, if the ball goes over your head, you let it go.
So the punt of 35 yards, and the defense will go to work with Mid-America Nazarene pinned back at their own 5. And that's exactly what the Crusaders wanted there. First down and 10. Out of the I formation, they have a new tailback in the ball game. That's Alfonso Cook, and he gets wrapped up as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Michael Odom and Harvey Berrien get on the stop for the Crusaders.
And Evangel right now is really challenging Mid-Americans, trying to put the ball up in the air. They're putting their secondary, they're bringing their defensive backs right up on that wide outs, right up on the tight end, daring them to put the ball up in the air.
Second down and 10 on the 5-yard line. Early Nash split wide to the right side. He draws man coverage. There's a fumble on the snap. The Pioneers, I believe, have fallen on the football. We'll wait and see. So a bad exchange under center. It's going to be recovered on the 5-yard line, but a flag was thrown on the play, so let's wait and see what it is. It looks like it's going to be offside against the Crusaders. So that'll cost the defensive unit 5 and bring up second down at 5 with 9.5 to go here in quarter number 1. No score in the ball game. Mid-America Nazarene coming in with a 3-1 record, 2-1 in Heart of America Conference play. And so far, the game has been dominated defensively by both ball clubs. The Crusaders doing some switching on the defensive side of the ball. Seibert's going to throw. Now he keeps it. He's going to run. He'll cut back at the 15-yard line and may have the first down at the 16. Harvey Berrien was putting pressure on him, but never could corral him.
Yeah, that time Harvey came in unblocked, but he made a nice move to the outside as he was rolling to his right and wanted to throw, but basically there was no one open to throw to. The secondary had it well defended, so he had no choice but to run, and basically just outran him and got the first down.
He gets the first down at the 16-yard line. That rain that started a moment ago is stopped. Under 9 minutes to play now, first quarter. Ryan Friels comes split wide to the right as the Pioneers put 3 men out of the pass pattern. And the Crusaders show blitz, and Seibert's going to keep the ball. Hellwig hits him and forces him to pitch early. Jermaine Peacock falls on the football. But Jay Hellwig was there to force the quarterback to pitch the football before he was ready and before his pitch man was ready.
Yeah, and he really didn't even have time to get a good pitch off. He didn't get his arms extended. And when you can get your outside linebacker defensive end to crash down that hard on the option, sometimes you can catch the quarterback like that before he's ready to pitch, doesn't get his arm extended on the pitch, and so the ball ends up on the turf.
Last time these two ball clubs met in Evangel's homecoming, it was right here in 1992. Evangel won the ball game 31-12. That, of course, was 2 years ago. Pitch back to Peacock. He's going to get to the corner, out over the 20, dives to the first down marker at the 25-yard line, and he may be a yard short of that first down. But showing his speed there, once he got to the outside, he was a couple of quick steps, and he had 5 or 6 more yards on the play.
Yeah, that time, like I said, he just gets to the outside, and Coach Bearfield talked about how he may be one of the fastest backs in the heart of America. And he really kind of surprised me on that carry. He got to the outside and just outran everybody to the corner.
His dive brought him up a yard short, and it's 3rd down and 1 from the 25-yard line. The toss back on the pitch to the tailback, Charles Smiley. He's going to get first down yardage as he gets out over the 25 to the 29-yard line. So Mid-America has used all 3 of their tailbacks in the ball game.
And so far, they've done it pretty effectively. They've been able to run the ball a little bit here on the Crusaders.
7 minutes, 45 seconds to go. First quarter here at Kennedy Stadium. We are scoreless. 3 wide receivers out of the pass pattern, out of the offset eye with Smiley, the tailback, and he's going to get the handoff, leaps over his own blocker, and gets out over the 30-yard line to the 32, possibly the 33, but a couple of flags have been thrown on the play. And it is going to be a penalty against the Pioneers. It's a hold against Mid-America Nazarene.
I think they even caught Mid-America for holding twice on that play.
So instead of looking at 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and about 25. This week, the Crusaders ranked number 6 in the latest NAI Division II national poll, up a spot from a week ago. It's their highest ranking of the year, 3rd highest ever during the regular season. Have to go back to 1988 when Evangel finished the regular season number 2 in the country. And in 1993, the highest national ranking was 5th in the country. Going to be 1st and 20. Ball back on the 20-yard line, and the blitz is on. Berrien sneaks through, untouched, and drops the quarterback for a loss of about 2 or 3 more yards. Now they're going to say that he had positive progress to, the 15-yard line.
And that's kind of a contradiction in terms. You have a loss of about 5 yards, and you get positive progress on that.
Yeah. So it'll bring up 2nd down, and now it's 25 yards to go for the first. Seibert lost 5 on that play, and he's going to toss back to Peacock, who will get to the corner, try to turn it upfield, and he's going to get out to the 25-yard line, pick up 10 yards before being knocked out of bounds by Hellwig and Dollar. Michael Odom was also there.
And really Mid-America's kind of shot themselves in the foot on this drive. They had the penalty, and then, of course, the sack put them in a situation where it was 2nd and 25. Like I said, it's hard to even see that far when you're on offense. And they've had some nice runs by Peacock. They had some nice runs by Seibert, but they've kind of wiped those things out. Now they're in a 3rd and 15.
Friels comes split wide to the right. Early Nash, one of the receivers, to the left side as it starts to rain once again. Play action fake, back to pass. Nash makes the catch. He splits the defenders, and he may be gone. He's down the side. He's going to be inside the 5, and now they're going to say that he hit his knee down on the 1-yard line. 74 yards on that pass play.
And then something that I talked about earlier, you know, Evangel had their secondary up close and up tight. Well, you get this slippery field, and he just slips by his man in man-to-man coverage, had them all spread out, and he just couldn't catch up with him after it. He's up, you know, bump and run on 1 yard where he didn't get a good bump on him, slips by him, and he's in the secondary, and he's behind everyone at that point.
I'm going to disagree with you. There was no slip by it. He just shot by him and outran him. Whether it's a wet track or a dry track, they just couldn't catch him. And the fact that he stumbled off balance is why he didn't get a 75-yard touchdown. Instead, it's 1st and goal from the 1-yard line with 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. And the Sons of the Pioneers are on the verge of taking the lead. In fact, they do as Seibert goes into the end zone, but there's a flag thrown on the play. So the clock stops with 5:19 to go, and the penalty is illegal procedure against Mid-America Nazarene.
Yeah, well, what happened that time is Seibert saw that Evangel wasn't ready at the line, so he tried to get the snap going quickly, but his team wasn't set and ready either, so it cost him 5 yards.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. And the defensive unit's goal right now is to just limit the Pioneers to 3 points in this situation. 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go. First quarter here at Kennedy Stadium. As the rain starts to come down harder, Seibert turns. He's going to fire into the end zone for Nash, and the ball is incomplete. He lofted it up, and there on the coverage was Troy Clayton.
And Clayton that time really had him smothered.
Nash was saying that he was face guarded. In other words, Clayton had no idea where the ball was and was just waving his hands in front of him, but looked to me like pretty good defensive coverage.
Yeah, I didn't see him, like I said, have his hands up in his face or waving it. It looked to me he just had him smothered pretty good, and he did turn and look for the ball at the last second. So
out of the I formation with Smiley the tailback and Jose Ibarra the fullback. Smiley gets the pitch, gets to the corner, and he is in for the touchdown.
That's just a basic toss sweep there. Smiley goes to the outside, takes a lick at the 1 yard line, but falls into the end zone. Good effort on his part. And what Mid-America has done on this drive is they really just kept Evangel off balance. I think that's a difference that you're seeing in the Mid-America offense from years past, is that they can do a lot of different things and not are just one-dimensional trying to run the ball on every down.
So in to attempt the extra point is Brian Clegg. It's 6-0. We have 4:48 to go. The extra point is blocked. The ball is loose. And it's going to be picked up by Derek McBride, who laterals it ahead to Anthony Dixon. Dixon's going to be tackled out over the 30 as the Crusaders try to return it the other way. But a couple of penalty flags are thrown, and that's going to bottle that one up. So the extra point is not going to be good. Now, where do you assess the penalties?
I assume it'll probably be on the kickoff, if it's assessed on the kickoff at all. It has to be a post-possession type thing, so they wouldn't re-kick. But I guess you got to give him an A for effort for trying to throw a forward pass after he picks up.
4:48 to go in the first quarter. It's 6-0 Mid-America Nazarene, and we'll be back with the Crusader or the Pioneer kickoff in 30 seconds.
This is the
74-yard pass from Seibert to Early Nash, his favorite receiver. And that happens to be their longest combined pitching catch of the year. That set up the 6-yard run by Charles Smiley. So now Brian Flegg gets set to kick it away. It's a high kick. It's going to be taken by Marlon Coley at the 13-yard line to the 15. He's in trouble. Now he gets away to the 20, 25, 30. Breaks a tackle. He is out over the 35 to the 40-yard line. A flag is thrown. And we'll see how it affects the run back.
Really an athletic run back that time. He did a great job of just keeping in bounds. It looked like his momentum was going to carry him out of bounds. He tiptoes the sideline, then gets it back to the middle of the field, but it looks like it's going to be wiped out by an illegal block.
It was a shame because the illegal block seemed to be away from the play.
It probably didn't affect the run back whatsoever, except that it's going to wipe it out.
So the Crusaders shoot themselves in the foot on that fine return, which is going to be erased because of the illegal block. And instead of having the ball at the 41-yard line, they're now going to have the ball back at the 11. So basically a 30-yard penalty. 4 minutes and 37 seconds to go in the first quarter. 6-0 Mid-America Nazarene. Brandon Schmidley wide to the left. John Dollar wide right. Out of the I formation with Baker on the tail of the tandem. Honore in there as well. And David Baker gets the call and gets nailed as he gets to the line of scrimmage.
And right now, Mid-America is playing inspired football. You can just see on the sideline, you can see the defense all excited. They're ready to play.
And right now, the Crusaders are having their problems running the football. They're going to give Baker positive progress, about half a yard. This means he'll be between the 12 and the 13-yard line. They spotted him down on the 12 as opposed to the 11. Dollar wide right, Schmidley wide left. Robbie Hurt, the tight end, in tight to the right side out of the I formation. Black under center. He'll turn. He'll give it to Baker again, and Baker gets hit back at the 10-yard line.
Getting defensive penetration that time, not letting anyone get to the line of scrimmage. Of course, you're not going to gain any yardage if you can't get there. Tailbacks just don't seem, or fullbacks, either one, seem to be able to get any steam going as they get towards the line of scrimmage. Penetration is killing them in the backfield.
3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. And the Crusaders facing 3rd down and 12. We'll see if Black puts it in the air. Long count. Eric back to pass. The rush is on. He's going to get rid of the football. And the catch is made by Brandon Schmidley out at the 23-yard line. And that should be good for a Crusader first down. And Eric Black had to stop and throw back across his body. And he was also running for his life.
Yeah, very athletic play that time. He did something really smart, I think, as a quarterback, is that he was near the goal line, but he was near or knowledgeable enough to know where he was at presence of mind. Didn't really want to go back into the end zone, so he towed the end line, throws back across his body. A very athletic play and nice catch by Brandon Schmidley.
At the 24-yard line, Evangel 1st and 10 at that point. Schmidley and Turner wide right. Out of the I formation, bunting the tight end in tight on the left side. Play action fake. Black to throw. Now he rolls, and he's in trouble. Trying to get away. Does so. Finds David Baker, who makes the catch at the 26-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 2 when in reality, Black should have been dropped back at the 15-yard line, but he was able to get away. It's tough to bring down a guy who's 6'5", 235 pounds.
And what was sad is he had Brandon Schmidley open deep into the secondary on a square end, but he didn't have a chance to get the ball away, of course, with the guys in his face. So he makes the best thing happen that he could out of that situation, dumps it off to David Baker.
So it's a gain of 2 yards, 2nd down and 8. Awful lot of running for a gain of 2, but that was better than the alternative. And Eric may be changing the play at the line. He better hurry. 2 receivers, Schmidley and Turner to the near side, and as he snaps the football, he had the football in his hands, was starting back as they blew the play dead, and it's delay of game. A delay of game today probably is a little more excusable because you don't have the 25-second clock mounted here at Kennedy Stadium, so you're kind of using a mental clock. And when you're concentrating more on reading the defense and getting the play changed, you kind of forget about that clock unless you can see it.
Which is something that Eric Black does a lot of. He changes a lot of calls at the line of scrimmage, gives a lot of different reads. That's something he's going to be aware of today.
So it's second down, 13. Back at the 21-yard line on the draw play. David Baker, a flag is thrown. He's got some yardage to the 25, and he is brought down at the 27, 28-yard line, and we're going to get another flag thrown away from the play. So 2 different penalties have been called on this play. The first one was, both of them are against Evangel. One of them a personal foul. What was the first one?
First one was a hold back in the backfield. And you kind of get the feeling right now that Evangel's just trying to press and trying to make things happen, trying to make blocks when they really don't have to, trying to do something a little extra to get the offense going, and in turn it's really killing them.
Well, I think that this could also be a case of the coach is talking about a Mid-America football team that is much improved, and players saying, yeah, we've handled this team, we've never lost to them. The only time they lost to them was in the 88 season, which was a forfeit. And the Pioneers are showing that they are a real football team, and they're beating the Crusaders to the punch on just about every play. So now, instead of facing second down and 13, it might as well be second down and a mile and a half. The first down, or the line of scrimmage, is going to be the 4-yard line, and the first down marker is the 34-yard line. So it's second down and 30.
And you can't hardly see the first down marker from there for the offense.
So with 1:56 to go, Evangel, on both sides of the ball, has had a very, very tough first quarter. Clock runs with 1:50 to go now as Black steps under center. Out of the I formation, Turner. Wide to the right, they line up double tight, give it to David Baker, and he gets absolutely nothing. So that'll bring up third down and 29. Under 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. Brandon Schmidley brings the play in from the sideline.
Difficult call in this situation. You have third and extremely long, but you're also on your own 5-yard line on a wet surface. May see him play a little conservative here. Then again, you may not.
At least trying to get a few yards to make the punt a little easier. They are going to play it conservative, and Baker is going to fumble the football, and Mid-America recovers.
So you try to play conservative, and it backfires against you in the fact that you lose the football anyway.
Well, I know one thing. The Crusaders coaching staff is going to have a hard time at halftime or on the sidelines getting this momentum turned around.
Hey, again, we talked about this at the beginning of the game, but you know, you don't want to get down in this situation with the wet field because the surface and the playing surface is going to get worse as it goes along. It's going to get more and more torn up, difficult to keep your footing, things like that. So whenever you post a team a lead, you're just fighting an uphill battle, even more so on a wet surface.
Ball is on the 3-yard line, or on the 2-yard line, first and goal. Pioneers lead it 6-0, and they're on the verge. They're looking into the end zone, looking for Nash, and pass interference is going to be called on Troy Clayton. Nash was running the route and probably could have continued on to the ball, but he also saw that he had Clayton running full speed ahead, so he just stopped.
Yeah.
Troy ran into him.
And that time it gets the call. Similar situation. That time he gets the call. It was a lot more obvious contact, and Clayton has to turn around and see the ball a little bit better in that situation. When he reads that defense at the receiver's eyes, he's got to turn back and see the ball, try to get himself stopped.
A very smart play by the receiver. He just stopped and let the defender run into him. Half the distance to the goal, so you move it a yard closer. Out of the I formation with Peacock on the tail of the tandem, and the quarterback sneaks it ahead and scores. So that makes it 12-0. We'll see if the Pioneers go for 2.
And I don't think in any of their wildest dreams right now, which may have been the problem, that any of the Crusaders would have thought that with 51 seconds left to go in the first quarter, they'd be down 2 touchdowns.
And that's the reason exactly why they are down 2 touchdowns, because Mid-America Nazarene has come out focused and inspired, and they have been able to beat them to the punch. So with 51 seconds to go, Mid-America is going to take a timeout, and so will we. 12-0. The Pioneers get set to go for 2, and they'll do that when we return after this 30-second timeout on.
Yeah, we want to try to even it up back to a 14-point game, and like I said, a 2-touchdown game in this situation. Whenever you have a 12-0 lead, you always want to go for 2, try to make it to 14.
And get it back to the 2-touchdown margin with the basic extra point, and they shoot themselves in the foot as jumping offside is Cliff Barrett, one of their fullbacks who was lining up on the wing. So instead of looking at having the ball at the 2.5, 3-yard line, it's going to cost them 5. Now we'll probably see the place kicker come in to try and kick the extra point.
Yeah, if I was a coach, that's what I would feel that situation dictates. If you're trying to go for it on 2, you get a penalty against you, moves you back 5 yards, and just kick it, and let's get away with 13 instead of maybe 14.
7 out of 9 this year, and actually now 7 out of 10 in the extra point department is Brian Clegg. He's a junior at 5'8", 145 pounds, and this will, in effect, be a 25-yard field goal attempt. The ball is down, the kick is on the way, and it is good. So with 51 seconds to go in the first quarter, it is 13-0. Mid-America Nazarene on top, back with the kickoff in 60 seconds.
The Evangel College.
Well, one thing is for certain, there's a homecoming crowd that is trying to get their football team to be as excited as they are about this afternoon here at Kennedy Stadium. So far, it has been Mid-America Nazarene leading it all 13-0. It is a short kick, and Darrell Ramsey is going to take it at the 25 and return it to the 32-yard line. And that's where Evangel, down 2 touchdowns, will have the football with 47 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
And again, you talked about trying to get the football team emotionally back into it, and yes, they need to do that. The problem with that is that a lot of times when you try to get yourself emotionally pumped up, try to get emotionally back into it, you try to overcompensate, make some mistakes that way. So they need to concentrate on execution, getting things done right.
Out of the single back set with Stacy Reardon in the slot. Turner wide right. Chastina wide left. Black with a two-step drop. He'll swing it out. It bounces off the hands of Chastina, incomplete. Can't blame the quarterback there. Hit him in the hands. 44 seconds to go in the quarter. In other words, you can see the Crusaders now start to shift gears and do what we were talking about last week. The running game has had a hard time being established, so go to the controlled passing game.
Yeah, looks like they're trying to spread out Mid-America a little bit. Try to attack their secondary.
Schmidley and Reardon to the left, Turner to the right. Honoré the lone setback. Long count. Black again with a two-step drop. He looks one way, comes back the other to Brandon Schmidley, who makes the catch at the 35-yard line, and he is out to the 39.
And that's an excellent decision that time by Black. As he looked to his right, he wanted to try to get the ball to Pat Turner on this short hitch, but he had his outside linebacker drop right into that zone, right into that alley he wanted to throw into. So instead of trying to force it in there, he just takes his time, looks back to his left. Brandon Schmidley standing in his lane, wide open, has a big alley to throw it to him, completes the pass.
On second down, the pass play gains 6, so it's third down and 4. This time the receivers are wide to the right. Turner and Reardon. Back to pass is Black. He sets up. He spins away. Gets away. Now he's going to try and run the football, and he is going to find his way out towards the first down marker at the 42-yard line. He's going to be about a yard shy. I'll be honest with you. I think as the second quarter will get started, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it, even though it's on the 40-yard line. Time is going to be stopped. The officials are going to call for a measurement. They'll bring the chains across from the far sideline. No time is remaining on the scoreboard clock, so it is the end of the first quarter on that particular play. And the quarter will end with Mid-America Nazarene leading 13-0. The only question is how far Evangel is short of the first down. And they're less than a yard short of first down yardage, and the offensive unit wants to go for it, and we'll wait and see. The end of one, 13-0. Mid-America Nazarene will be back in 60 seconds. It is fourth down, and the Crusaders are going for it on fourth and less than a yard. Look for Black to sneak it ahead. Black sneaks it ahead, and Black fumbles the football. It is loose. Reardon recovers, and Evangel gets the first down. And I tell you what, if he doesn't fumble, I don't think he gets the first down.
Would have been pretty close. I didn't agree if he wasn't down before he fumbled. I thought that may be in a poor call. His progress had definitely stopped, in my opinion, before the ball ever came out.
Well, let's see if the officials agree with you. Mike Redwine is certainly sitting there saying that it is a decision in which the Pioneers have held, and now they're going to say the same thing. They did not give him anywhere near where the ball was on the spot.
Oh.
Well, the way they've got this thing spotted down, they lost yardage on the play.
There's no way that's a first down. I think that's a horrible spot, in my opinion. But
it is, and you're right. And if I'm Keith Bearfield, I go out and grab a hold of an official and chew on parts of his anatomy, because that was a terrible call.
And Looks like Keith may be doing part of that right now.
Well, that's not the guy that spotted the ball. The one he wants is wearing the white hat. And he's being very quiet about it. I think just to get his team excited, I'd jump up and down and run around him and do everything else. Well, we haven't had a chance to say this much this year, but that was a horrible call.
Yes, that was.
It really was. So, the gamble fails, and not because of effort by the offensive unit. Ball is on the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for Mid-American Nazarene. Flags are going to fly as the quarterback, Seibert, runs out from under center. And the ball was snapped, and nobody moved.
And Mid-America came up that time in the same formation, same setup. Looked like they were going to throw also, where they had the big 74-yard pass play, Charlie Nash.
Illegal procedure is going to be called. Now, explain something to me about that. The ball was snapped, and nobody really moved. The defense moved, so it gave the impression, I guess, that the offense had done something wrong. I'm surprised he just didn't let the play go because they were going to chase him and drop him for about a 10-yard loss. You don't know these things? Ball back at the 46-yard line, and Seibert's going to pass. He fires it out. His man wide open, dropped the football. He was looking for his split end, Mark Pence, who had the ball and dropped it.
And a really, like I said, pretty good pass. Probably should have been caught, but he had Early Nash down the sideline that time who had beaten his man, streaking along the sideline, didn't see him, and he was wide open.
I don't know why they weren't looking for Early Nash. He's only caught 22 passes coming in. The next highest, their number 2 receiver, has caught 5 balls. So they look for him most of the time. On 2nd and 15 from the 46, they look out for Nash and throw it behind him. .46 to play in the first half. It is 13-0 Evangel, trailing Mid-American Nazarene.
This is a pretty big play for the Crusaders. You know, like I said, momentum has not been their way. Things have not gone their way as far as the breaks go. And here on this 3rd and long, they need to come up with a stop.
Back to pass, Seibert. He's going to go down back in his own territory at the 45-yard line, but a flag is thrown on the play. So let's see what the penalty is going to be. It is going to be against the Pioneers. Now they'll mark the penalty off, and the Crusaders are going to decline it. I think it was a procedure penalty. It'll bring up 4th down, and with the play standing, ball goes all the way back to the 45-yard line. 14:39 to go, and a punting situation. Jason Stansberry back deep to kick it away. Reardon and Creighton are going to be out there. The Pioneers are going to fake it, and they're going to come up empty-handed as the receiver juggled the football. They were looking for Chris Dye coming out of the backfield as they snapped it to the up man. And either way, even if he catches the ball, he's going to be well short of the first down.
That situation is just too far. I mean, you got to get by the guy receiving the kick practically to get the first down in that situation. And what they did is they had their wideout spread out, and no one was covering him. You know, no one was over the top of him, so they like to try to throw to him. Sometimes that's just a check off at the line of scrimmage, but that's just too far a situation to try to do that in.
So the Crusaders have an opportunity now to get back some of the momentum. Trailing 13-0. They have the football, 1st down and 10 at the 45-yard line of Mid-American Nazarene. And Black with a play-action fake. He's got time. A flag is thrown, and the pass caught by Turner at the 11-yard line, and he's out of bounds at the 10. But it's going to be brought back because of a hold. So bring the ball back and take away the play. 10 yards from the point of the flag. And you can see it right as Black let go of the football.
And anytime the Crusaders get something going positive, they do something to bring out a negative.
We saw that guy down at Reed Spring last night, didn't we?
That was crossing the line.
It sure was, but it's true. 14:23 to go. Not physically, it's obviously a different guy, but it's the same type thing. Ball is going to go back to the 437, maybe the 38-yard line. And Black is going to throw out of the shotgun. Backs are split, standing one on either side of him. That's Reardon and Honore. And Black retreats to pass. He's looking for the screen. They've got his man covered. Black gets away. He's going to look up. Now he's hit, and he's going to go down back at the 25-yard line.
Well, that time they tried to set up the screen to Reardon, and the Mid-America had it sniffed out from the get-go. They had a man all over Reardon, so Black wisely didn't throw it to him. Maybe should have thrown it away at that point. But then as he scrambles, he has Warren Andre near the Evangel sideline. I think he didn't see him because it looked like Warren just kind of blended in with all the players on the sideline because he's standing right next to the sideline open. Black never did see him, never could get rid of the football, and results in a big loss.
Ball is on the 26-yard line. The Evangel 26. The first down marker is the Pioneer 35. Out of the I formation on second down, there's a draw play that will go nowhere to Stacy Reardon. He'll gain about a yard. .13 15 seconds to go. So the holding penalty seems to have taken the wind completely out of this drive that was started when Turner caught the ball down at the 10.
Yeah, right now they would have the ball on the 10-yard line. Instead, they have it on their own 27. And that's a 63-yard difference.
Third down and 38. With 12:50 to go. Black is going to throw out of the shotgun, and a flag is thrown high into the air. The Crusaders took too much time. One thing about it, the second half has got to be better because everything that can go wrong here in the first half has gone wrong.
Crusaders have 8 penalties so far here in the first half, and they have been known to be penalty prone, but have been able to overcome it. Right now, they're in a situation where they're really putting themselves in an uphill battle.
Well, this has been a one-sided series. The Crusaders have won even the game they lost back in '88. They won that one 28-13. They won by 43-14, 38-13, 28-26. That was back in November of '91 and started the current 12-game home winning streak for Evangel. Black to throw on third down and long. He's got tons of daylight, and now he's going down back at the 12-yard line. Matt Ragsdale is in a position on this particular series. This is probably the toughest offensive series we've seen the Crusaders have in several years, where Ragsdale is going to have probably a career best punt to get the ball even to the first down marker.
Yeah, except now the ball's on the 14-yard line, pretty close to their own 10, when they could have had the ball on the Pioneer 10. And what's bad about this situation is that the Pioneers gave them a gift, gave them the ball on the 50-yard line by trying to go for it on a fourth down, and they can't capitalize.
Ragsdale is standing in his own goal line to punt. The snap is low. The Pioneers go after it and try to block it. Coker makes the catch at the 45-yard line, retreats back to the 43 and slips down. He'll get progress to the 44-yard line. And that punt good for 41 yards. It was a good one, but it still did not even get the ball back to the line of scrimmage, to the first down marker. 11:21 to go in the first half. And it has been all Mid-America Nazarene so far.
And I feel like the Crusader defense is going to have to make something big happen to try to wake people up. Come up with a turnover, another big play.
Out of the I formation, the handoff to Jose Ibarra. He'll go straight ahead, get about 3 yards. Maybe 4 if they give him a positive spot. We'll call it second down and 7. Gain of 3 on that last play for Jose Ibarra. And we're talking about the games in this series. Only one game has been relatively close in terms of the score. That was in 91. Toss back to Alfonso Cook. A flag is thrown as Cook gets knocked down back at the 43-yard line. Let's wait and see what the penalty is and where they're going to spot the ball. A hold is going to be called against Mid-American Nazarene.
That is a tremendous effort by Jay Hellwig on that play, because he was the person that was being held, but the guy holding him went back into his own backfield, and Hellwig still made the tackle back behind the line of scrimmage. That's a tremendous effort by Jay Hellwig.
So the penalty is going to be marched off against the Pioneers, and it'll bring up second down and quite a ways. Ball is going to go all the way back to the 34-yard line. First down marker is at the Crusader 45, and the handoff to Alfonso Cook. He's going to try and cut it upfield. He slips as he gets to the 35-yard line and falls down to the 36. That'll bring up third down.
I can't remember a game in which I've seen so many 3rd and 20s or 3rd and 20 plus.
It's going to be third down and 19. Out of the I formation, on third down and long, the handoff to the fullback, Ibarra, to the 40. That'll be a gain of about 4 more, and it's going to bring up a punting situation. So Stansberry will come in and ostensibly kick the ball away. He was going to try to do that the last time the situation called for fourth down at about 14 or 15 yards to go, and they snapped the ball to the up men, Joel Coker, and he tried to throw a pass. They've got 2 receivers out, so we'll see if they kick it away. They are going to kick it. Stansberry with the left foot kicks a knuckleball to Stacy Reardon, who makes the catch at the 25-yard line, and he is going to get pushed back to the 20. So a 35-yard kick, which will be, in effect, a 44-yarder because Reardon lost 9 yards on the return. So Eric Black in the offense will have the ball back at the 20-yard line, first down and 10. Trailing 13-0, just under 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Could be quite possible that the Evangel was looking forward to next week's game against Missouri Valley. But you can't use that as an excuse at this point. Hand off to Reardon. Reardon tries to cut to the outside. He slips a tackle, but the pursuit gets there quickly, and he is going to gain about 2 yards out to the 23 or 24.
Now that time, Reardon breaks away from the tackle, sheds a couple of them. But by the time he's getting back to the line of scrimmage, everyone else is catching up with him. He's just not, the running backs are not getting to the point of attack quick enough, whether it be they're slipping, whether it be that the defensive penetration is causing that. They're just having trouble getting to the point of attack.
Out to the 23, gain of 3, second and 7 out of the split back formation. Black with a 2-step drop. He'll swing it out to Darrell Ramsey, who makes the catch at the 30-yard line before being driven back. So Darrell Ramsey with his second catch of the year, and he's going to be just short of the first down.
I'm sure the Crusaders really like that matchup, as you got the 6'6" Ramsey out there on some defensive backs that are about 5'8" or 5'9". We'll take that matchup just about any day of the week.
Clock runs with 7 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first half. Dollar and Ramsey come out of the lineup. Turner comes wide to the right. And Evangel lines up double tight on third down at about a yard. Out of the I formation, Reardon on the tail of the tandem with Honore, the blocking back. Honore gets the call. It's going to be close, but I believe he's got the first down as he gets out over the 30 to the 31-yard line. I don't think there's any way they can spot that one back to where he doesn't get a first down, and they don't. He gets first down yardage out to the 32. With 7:26 to go.
You mentioned that spot, and I know Coach Barefoot wasn't even happy with the spot that they gave Reardon on the punt.
Ball on the 32, first down and 10, and Black will turn and hand it to his single setback, Warren Honore. Honore dances out over the 35 to the 36-yard line. A gain of about 4, second down and 6. Honore has rushed for 185 yards this year, 3 scores. Has been bothered a bit by injuries so far this year. Probably the first time in his career that's happened to him. Schmidley and Reardon go split wide left, Turner wide right. Honore the lone setback, bunting the tight end in tight to the near side. Second down and 5, the play action fake. Black rolls out, swings it to the tight end who makes the catch. Bunting has the first down. He's out over the 45 to the 46-yard line. And that'll be good for a Crusader first down as he's pushed into the mud on the Crusader sideline.
And that's a well-executed play and such a tough play to defend whenever you can do it right. Like they get the play action going one way. Bunting, who stays in the block for just a couple of seconds and then releases to the outside. No one really picks him up. Black finds him, and that's just a play that's very difficult to defend.
Down 13-0. Evangel on first down, hands it to Honore, who gets nailed as he leaps up over the top as he passes the line of scrimmage, gains maybe a yard, possibly 2. And Dave Campbell, one of the linebackers, just jumped up over the top and met Honore in the air.
Really hammered him pretty good that time.
6 minutes to go, first half. American Nazarene with 2 first-quarter touchdowns to lead at 13-0. And for the first time, the Crusader offense putting a couple of first downs together and moving the football. Schmidley and Reardon to the right, Turner wide left, Honore the lone setback. And the play action fake, Black to pass, he flips it out, Bunting is there, he's got the football, and then he drops it. So that'll bring up third down and 7. A reminder, you're listening to KDI Radio, Republic Springfield. From Kennedy Stadium, Rob Evans with Darren Cates, our studio engineer, Dave Wilkie. Overcast, the temperature in the 50s, and we've had some rain, but not raining at the present time as the Crusaders celebrate homecoming, 1994. And right now, there's not much celebrating going on as Evangel trails at 13-0. 5.5 to go in the second quarter. Turner wide left, Schmidley in the slot left. Black will throw out of the shotgun. He's looking, still looking, dancing around, fires it out, and throws it incomplete as he was trying to throw it low for Pat Turner, and the ball bounced incomplete at the 35-yard line of the punting situation for the Crusaders.
Black right now is only 3 for 9 in the game. He has had a few drops. That time, really not that poorly of a thrown ball just because of the fact that Turner wasn't really wide open. It would have been a tough pass and catch situation no matter if he threw a strike to him or not.
Snap to Ragsdale is a good one. They put a little bit of a rush on. He hits a high wobbly kick that Joel Coker makes the catch on, and then Dallas Nash levels the receiver right into his tracks. A 30-yard punt with no return. The ball is on the Pioneer 23-yard line. 5 minutes and 24 seconds to go. Mid-America with the football on their own 22-yard line. They'll line up in the I formation with Charles Smiley in the backfield now, and Cliff Barrett, the fullback. And Seibert hands it off to Smiley, who gets out to the 25 and then falls forward to the 27-yard line. Kyle Curry makes the stop for the Crusaders. Game of that last play of 4 on first down, second down and 6. Nash goes split wide to the right along with Mark Pence. Nash lining up in the slot. He's their favorite receiver. 22 catches coming in, and he's caught a couple of balls today, and he catches another one, but is hit in his tracks by Troy Clayton at the line of scrimmage. So it'll bring up third down and 6. So that pass is completed for, well, make it 3rd and 5. They move the sticks forward about a half yard. Good play defensively for the Crusaders.
Yeah, really, that's a play offensively that you see a lot of teams. You see that the Niners use it with Jerry Rice. If you get a good receiver, someone you like to throw to a lot that you feel is pretty dangerous, just try to give it out to him in the flat. But the Crusaders came up pretty quick. Probably seen that quite a bit on film from Mid-America.
4:10 to play in the second quarter, and Seibert's back to pass. He's looking now. The pocket collapses, and he gets away from Odom. He fires it long downfield, and the ball is caught by Nash at the 30-yard line. He's tackled as he gets down to the 15. A pass play good for 48 yards.
Second time today that Nash has gotten behind the defenders.
I'm still figuring out, as the way that ball floated up there, even though it was with the wind, how somebody did not get back in time to knock it down.
It looked like the secondary man kind of misjudged it. You know, he had a possible play on it. Didn't quite judge the trajectory correctly.
1st and 10 on the 15-yard line, and the pitch back to Smiley, and Smiley gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe forward for a yard. Call it 2nd and 9 at the 15, and with 3.5 minutes to go, Mid-America Nazarene is poised for yet another score. They lead it 13-0, scoring on a 6-yard run at the 4:48 mark of the first quarter, and then with 51 seconds to go in the quarter after a Crusader fumble, the quarterback Seibert takes it in from 1 yard out. And if we sound shocked at this point, it's because, quite honestly, we are. Smiley gets the handoff and is going to be pushed out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Even though Mid-America is very much improved over past years, this would still rank, if they can hang on and continue to dominate this game the way they have the first half, a big upset.
Yeah, probably be one of the biggest wins for their program in quite some time. Not just this season, but maybe in...
Well, certainly since we've been following Heart of America football. That goes back to 88. Still a ways to go yet, and we'll see how the Crusaders regroup at halftime. Right now, the defense trying to dig in on 3rd and 9 from the 14-yard line. The fake toss, Seibert back to pass. He's hit as he throws, and overthrows early Nash in the end zone. And Nash again was behind the secondary.
If he wasn't forced to throw that time before he went into that, could have possibly been 6. And they do a lot of different things to get Nash open. You know, they don't constantly look at him the whole time they want to throw to him. They look off pretty well.
Well, it looks like Brian Clegg is going to attempt a field goal from the 22-yard line. It'll be a 32-yard kick. The ball is down, and the kick is blocked by Jay Hellwig. He's going to pick it up, and he gets away from one man and is going to get caught as he returns the ball into Mid-America Nazarene territory at the 48-yard line.
Another big play by Hellwig. Maybe that's something that can get the Crusaders going. Definitely, I would say a big play just from the standpoint that would have put them 16 down before halftime. But maybe a chance to score, but still probably 16 down before halftime. Now it's still just a 2-touchdown game. And a pretty good return on the play.
He does it all, doesn't he?
He really does. And you have to give it to him in the fact that no one right now has really played that well, but he's still out giving it everything he's got and making big plays.
So from the 48-yard line, first down and 10, Black is going to sprint out, look to pass. He steps up, swings it out to Blake Bunning, and the tight end wasn't looking for the ball.
Was not ready for it at all. Like you said, he wasn't looking, hadn't turned around. Don't know if he was just expecting the ball deeper in his pattern, but he was open at the time. And right now, the offense for Evangel just looks totally out of sync, and that's really underestimating the situation by calling it out of sync.
Bad is the word you're looking for.
I did not say that.
I did. Two receivers, Trastina and Turner, wide to the left. And I think that the offense would agree with that assessment. The toss back to Warren Honore. Honore picks up a block or two and fights his way down to the 46-yard line. That'll bring up third down at about 7, a gain of 3 on the play. As in sync as they were a week ago at Benedictine, they are that much out of sync this week against Mid-America Nazarene. Part of that is the defense, and part of that is probably the natural up and down progression you're going to get with a young group.
Yes, definitely. And I also think that when you get behind to a team you're supposed to be, I think you start to press a little bit. And I think you've seen that in the penalties that's been caused, trying to make plays but not really capable of making things of that nature. It's constant.
Honore lines up in the slot, out of the shotgun. Black will throw. Nichols back to help block. And Eric is going to go down back at the 40-yard line.
Again, we're talking about out of sync, and it looked like the offensive line had set up for a screen, but there was no receiver out there for a screen. Some sort of miscommunication definitely on that one.
So it is a 14-yard loss. It'll bring up 4th down and 20 with under a minute and 15 to go here in the first half. Ragsdale back to kick it away. The snap is a good one. The Pioneers set up for the return, and the ball is dropped. A flag or a beanbag is thrown down. I thought he was reaching for a flag. As the ball is fumbled, Mid-America comes up with the football. So the Pioneers will have it on the 27-yard line. I thought they were going to throw a flag because it didn't appear they gave him room to catch the football.
It really did. It looked like Crusaders may have caught a break that time. As it was close, but it still didn't appear they gave him enough room to catch the football. Mid-America still comes away, though, with the loose football. So things are still bouncing their way.
13-0. The Pioneers have the lead. We have 56 seconds to go in the first half. And they look like they're going to open it up. 3 receivers, 2 to the wide side, 1 to the near side. Seibert looking for his tight end, Ryan Friels, who is split out to the left. Pass is thrown into the Crusader sideline with 52 seconds to go here in the first half. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
I would doubt from this point on, as far as, they may try to throw a little bit conservative passes, some short outs or something, but I would doubt that they would try to really put any more points on the board here. Probably play a little bit more conservative.
Well, we'll wait and see. They've got 2 men to the near side, 1 man to the far side of the pass pattern. The Crusaders look to put some pressure on. The ball is pitched back to Smiley, and Derek McBride wrestles him out of bounds. A flag is going to fly as McBride tosses him down after he was out of bounds, and that's going to be a penalty against Evangel.
Now that whole situation is going to change. You're going to get 15-yard penalty. You're going to get a little bit better field position. They're probably going to now take their chances of trying to get another score. So that penalty not only gives them yardage, but it gives them a whole other mindset as to how they're going to attack here in the last 45 seconds.
So a personal foul against the Crusaders will put Mid-America Nazarene in much better field position. And I can certainly say this. I don't think I would want to be in the locker room at halftime. Unless, of course, you're in for what you would think would be inspiring addresses, because I don't think you're going to find a happy coaching staff with the way their team has performed here in the first half. The ball out of the 41-yard line, first down and 10. The handoff to the fullback. Gets nothing, may end up losing a yard back to the 40. It'll be second down to the 11 with half a minute to go in the first half.
And it looks like now that Mid-America is going to go ahead and just kind of sit on it the rest of the half.
And take it in at halftime, leading 13-0, unless they elect to snap it and throw deep on this one play or break a long gain with the 11 seconds to go, the clock winding down. And the toss sweep back to Jermaine Peacock, and he's going to get tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Sam Dollar as the half comes to a close. The end of the first half of play. It's Mid-America Nazarene 13, the Evangel Crusaders nothing. We'll be back with a look at the first half scoring recap after this 2-minute timeout on
Most importantly in the stat department is the score, 13-0, and Mid-America leading the game. Really, Mid-America's dominated the football game just about in every aspect. They have 6 first downs. The Evangel 3, and of course Evangel offense and rush out of nowhere, 19 carries for a negative 26 yards. Not going to do a whole lot in the football game when you're going back. If you're looking at the passing department, Evangel has passed the ball 11 times, decided it, no interceptions, but only for 38 yards. Mid-America's been a little bit more successful than pass the ball, but 10 times completion for 147 yards. Of course, the two big plays they had the 74-yard pass to Nash early in the game, then of course later in the game they had a 40-yard pass to Nash. That's been basically the story. They've run back with
So Eric Gamgar gets set to kick the football away. Short of the 20, so the special teams doing a good job to get down and make the stop for the Crusaders, and it'll be on the right at the 20-yard line, first down and 10 for the Pioneers.
And you hate to use the cliche that whenever you let a team that you should beat play with you long enough, the longer you let them play with you, the tougher it is to beat them, but that's going to be the case here this afternoon.
Danny Seibert with the I formation, with Ibarra and Peacock in the backfield. He's going to play action fake, roll to his right, throws, and the pass is complete for the first down. Early Nash makes the catch.
And some of you just have to kind of ask yourself, if you know that when they throw the football, they're going to want to throw the early Nash. And how does he get open so often? I mean, if you're playing a zone, you got to know where early Nash is at, wherever he's going.
Gain of 10 on first down, so it'll be first and 10 at the 30-yard line. Handoff this time to Peacock, and he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage before being driven back. The Peacock was not able to strut much on that play.
Not at all. Wasn't too proud of that.
Inside the first minute of Quarter number 3, it's 13-0. Pioneers on top. The play comes in from the Mid-American Nazarene sideline. Out of the I formation on second down. Harvey Berrien shows blitz. The toss to Peacock. McBride can't contain it. He gets down the sideline, out over the 40, to the 43-yard line before being run out of bounds. So that'll be good for another Pioneer first down. And so far, it looks like nothing has changed from the first half.
Well, maybe worse.
Mark Pence brings the play in from the sideline for Mid-American Nazarene. And then comes split to the near side along with Early Nash. Ryan Creel, the tight end. Fly to the left out of the I formation. It's an offset I. And Alfonso Cook gets the handoff. Big hole straight up the middle. Into Crusader territory. Down the sideline. At the 25-20. And McBride saves the touchdown with a tackle at the 16-yard line. That's a 42-yard play on the draw play for Alfonso Cook.
Going back to a little bit what we had talked about, now it may be a little worse. Well, the Pioneers haven't really rushed the ball that effectively in the first half, only 32 yards. In the second half, they just to get us some big runs and got the first down. Now they're in 20.
Ball on the 16 to the 17-yard line, and the play action fake. Rolls out. He's looking, still looking. Now he's going to run. He gets inside the 10, a missed tackle, and he's down inside the 5, and that should be good for a first down. You don't see it very often, but Jay Helwig missed a tackle in the open field, and that allowed the quarterback to get free for another 10 yards and a first down.
About the only time you're going to see a play like that is on a day like this.
And we're not talking about the physical conditions. This is just one of those days where the guys in maroon have not been able to do anything.
Everything.
Touchdown and goal is 15-0 Mid-American Nazarene. First down and goal. So that makes it 19-0.
And I'm sure at Coach Merrifield, I have to talking about the first series. This is not what he had in mind for his defense. Again, basically in the first half, Mid-America was shut down running the football, only 32 yards. But here, basically almost all on the ground except for the early pass to Early Nash. March down the field 80 yards on the drive and get a quick 6.
And the Pioneers are going to go for 2. Peacock comes in motion, and Seibert rolls to pass. He fires, and the ball is intercepted by McBride in the end zone. A flag is thrown on the play, though. So with 12:55 to go, the two-point conversion fails at this point, pending the outcome of the penalty. It's a hold against Mid-American Nazarene. So the extra point is no good with 12:55 to go in the third. 19-0 Mid-American Nazarene. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this.
Irving's Valley, closed Monday.
Pioneers on top. Back deep, John Dollar and Marlon Coley to receive this kick from Fleck. The kick is going to come from 35-yard line, and now the referee runs over to the Evangel sideline to tell Keith Bearfield something. So the official and the Crusaders head coach visit about something before the kickoff.
In the first half, Coach Bearfield and the officials weren't always seeing eye to eye on things. I don't know how long the official wants to stay over there and conversate with the coach.
Well, that discussion is done, and now Brian Fleck comes back from his visit over to the sideline. So Evangel finds themselves on the short end of a 19-0 score. Unless the Evangel offense can get something generated in the next couple of moments, that 12-game winning streak that started, ironically enough, with a win over Mid-America Nazarene. Pioneers wanting to end that streak here this afternoon, and they're leading by 3 touchdowns. A high kick. It's going to bounce and be picked up by Dollar at the 24-yard line. He looks to return it out of the 30-35 to the 38-yard line. Going straight ahead. Probably could have veered back a little more this side and had a big hole to run through, but Pioneers closed it off quickly.
It's really important for the Evangel offense just to get down and execute. Do things right. Let's not worry about always just making a big play. Let's just move the chain, let's sit down, do some things right.
12:49 to go in the third quarter. 19-0, Mid-America Nazarene. Schmidley wide to the right, Turner wide left. Out of the I formation, Honore the tailback, Nichols in at the blocking back position, and Warren Honore is going to come to the near side after getting the straight handoff. He'll get it out over the 40 to the 42-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4. And bring up second down and 6 if they give him the spot out to the 42, which they do. Next Saturday, it's Missouri Valley's homecoming. And the Crusaders will provide the opposition a 3 o'clock start for that ball game, 2:45 for the pregame show next Saturday afternoon. Turner wide right. Chastina wide to the left. Honore in the slot to the left. Black the pass. He steps up, fires it for an out to Turner, who makes the catch. It's in the Pioneer territory at the 47-yard line.
And that's what I was talking about a little bit. Let's not just sit back and throw deep. Let's throw some intermediate passes, some short passes, and let's try to get the chains moving just a little bit at a time. When you want to come back from a 19-point deficit, the best way to go about it is usually just try to inch it out, get the offense working back in sync together, and not try to get all 19 points back on one play.
They're going to put him down to the 48-yard line. First down at 10. They're in Pioneer territory. Black drops back the pass. He's looking. He fires on an out, and it's incomplete. Schmidley let that one get away. I think he felt that he let it get away. He was falling down, and the ball was thrown low, but I think he felt like he should have caught it.
I feel like he should have. It would have been a tough catch in any situation. But again, he's the type of competitor who thinks he gets his hands on it, he should catch it. It still would have been a pretty tough catch.
11.5 to go in the third quarter. It's second down and 10 from the 48-yard line with Turner coming to the left, Schmidley going to the right. Out of a split back formation. Running the tight end inside to the left. Black drops back to pass. He's setting up. He fires over the middle. He throws it behind the tight end. It's incomplete. That would have been for first down yardage at the 35-yard line. And it looked like he had Schmidley open deep.
maybe he didn't make the right decision. Again, you know, he's a young quarterback. Last week had a great game. This week things have been a little bit more of a struggle for him. And, you know, as a young quarterback, he's going to have his ups and downs. And the key for him is to keep plugging, keep going at it, keep trying to bring his team back.
3rd down and 10 from the 48-yard line. Dollar wide right. Schmidley and Honore to the left. Honore in the slot. Black to throw. The pocket collapses. Black tries to get away. Still going. And he's going to try and run. And is going to get back to midfield. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. And bring up 4th down and 10.
You'd like to see him get rid of that football when he's that deep back in his own territory, behind the line of scrimmage. Try to at least get rid of it some way, maybe not necessarily find a receiver. Because he made a great effort to elude the pass rush and avoid the sack, but it still ends up being a sack because he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
4th down and 11. Clock runs with 10:40 to go, 3rd quarter. And pretty soon, time is going to become an ally, even though we're in the 3rd quarter of Mid-America Nazarene. Pioneers put pressure on Ragsdale. He sails the punt. It's going to bounce inside the 10 and bounce into the end zone before Morris Cannon can get to it. Early Nash caught a break. That's kind of the way the afternoon has gone, because he slipped as he was trying to get out of the way. And the ball was going right towards him, but then somehow it missed him and kicks into the end zone. So the touchback brings it out to the 20-yard line, 1st down and 10. Pioneers have 2 receivers to the near side, Nash being one of them. And he's the guy they look to. They also have Ibarra and Peacock in the backfield, and it's Jose Ibarra on 1st down. He'll get to the other side of the 20. Give him a yard, 2nd and 9. Second and 9, down to the 10-minute mark to go here in quarter number 3. Pioneers trying to win their 2nd game in this series with Evangel. The first one they won because of a forfeit. They're trying to win it today on the field, and they lead 19-0. From their own 20-yard line, 2nd down and 9. Peacock drops the football. He picks it up. He's going to retreat, go the other way. He's back to the 10, comes back to the 15, and he is going to get back to the 20-yard line. After dropping that ball, he did an outstanding job just to get back to the 20-yard line. The Crusaders had a chance to get him way back at about the 10, but couldn't corral him.
And he drops the ball, loses the ball. Ball takes a Mid-America bounce back up in his hands, and then, like you said, he did a terrific job getting back around to the outside, reversing his field, turns the corner and gets back, maybe even a gain of 1.
So here's a big play for the defense on 3rd and 9. And the play action fake, Siebert to pass, and down. Back inside the 15-yard line, and a punt is coming. So Jay Helwig gets through, and it's going to be a loss back to the 14-yard line. So it's 4th down and 16 to go for the first, and Stansberry is going to be standing at his own goal line. Stacy Reardon and Troy Clayton ready to receive the punt. The snap is a good one. He'll hit it from about the 3. He slips and falls. It's a terrible punt. It's going to roll out over the 35 and be killed on the 37-yard line. So Stansberry slips and falls as he kicks the football. He gets 23 yards out of the punt, and probably 10 of that was on the roll. And a poor punt has given the Crusaders excellent field position.
Well, the defense holds that time. A couple of times in the first half, the defense made a couple of big plays, blocked a field goal, come up with some sacks. Then the offense couldn't capitalize. If they're going to do anything today, they need to capitalize on this situation.
Chastina wide left, Turner wide right. bunting the tight end inside to the right. I formation with Reardon in the backfield. The toss and the sweep to Reardon. They'll give it to Turner. On the end around, coming to the short side. He's in jail. Back around the 45-yard line. Flags fly all over the place. And let's see what the penalty is going to be. In addition to losing 8 yards on the play, let's see if the penalty is going to go against Evangel as well. An illegal block against Evangel. So right away, with the ball in the 37, the play loses 8 yards, and then an illegal block is going to take it all the way back into Crusader territory, or at least back near midfield and into Evangel territory at the 46-yard line. .8:05 to go, third quarter.
Well, it's not raining right now, but it sure feels like it's pouring.
First and 27 to be. He's going to throw. The rush is on. He'll step up. He's going long. He's got a man out there with double coverage. And the pass is incomplete as Brandon Schmidley was sandwiched between two defenders.
And again, you kind of get the feeling there, trying to get all the points back, all the yardage back on just one play. You know, he's double covered when he threw the ball, then he ended up another defensive back came over. He had 3 guys around him. Not real likely that he's going to come down to that.
Clock stops with 7:41 to play in the third. It is second down at 27. Reardon's going to line up in the slot to the right along with Pat Turner, who split wide right. Schmidley wide left. Honore the lone setback. On second down at 27, Black to throw. He's going to throw it on and out for Pat Turner. First down for Evangel. He gets down to the 26-yard line.
Nice action catch that time. That's all timing. Black took his time, came back, got his steps down, waited for Turner to make his break, throws it right as he's breaking, and that's a tough play to defend. Turner made a nice catch, also made a nice play on getting the first down, keeping his balance, staying in bounds, and running for the first down.
Ball at the 26-yard line, first and 10 for Evangel. You sense if they can get some points on the board, get a touchdown out of this drive, that the gates might open up for them. Out of the I formation, Reardon, the tailback, Honore, the fullback, and Black is going to sprint out, look to pass. He's going to throw on the run. The ball is tipped and almost intercepted. It was tipped. And then the inside linebacker, Michael Burge, falling down almost, was able to catch it.
You kind of get the feeling also, like I said, that Brandon Schmidley's made a lot of good catches this year, made some big plays. You know, he's kind of been Eric Black's favorite target. So a quarterback, when he gets in a situation, feels kind of desperate. He always looks to that one receiver. By the time he's looking to that receiver, but he has 3 guys around him, he's still trying to force it into him. He needs to go ahead and check off and find another receiver.
Check off. He's with Captain Kirk and those guys. Maybe we ought to get them to help.
Beam me up now.
On second and 10 from the 26-yard line. Black's going to run the option down the line. The pitch back to Reardon. Reardon's going to turn the corner. He's inside the 15-yard line. Now just spot him out just short of the 15. And that's going to be close to a Crusader first down on the option play.
First time we've seen that today. Black comes down the line on the left, reads it real well, holds it long enough to let Reardon bounce to the outside, and if safety's got that kind of speed, that bounceability, he can turn the corner, he can make some things happen. That time he gets the first down for the Crusaders.
Well, I want to say it was last week the Crusaders scored on an option play. As Keith Fairfield said, first time you've seen that out of us in a while, haven't you?
Black's the kind of Rainbow Cunningham type thing, run or pass.
So it's first and 10, just shy of the 15-yard line. Out of the I formation, Black will turn and give it to Stacy Reardon. Reardon spins as he gets inside the 15. He's going to be down close to the 12-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3. And bring up second down and 7 with 7:05 to go here at quarter number 3.
And Stacy made a nice move that time. As he, like you said, he spun. And as he spins, there's no one in front of him, but he can't regain his balance, ends up falling down.
Second down and 7 from the 12-yard line. Schmidley and Turner wide to the right. Reardon gets the handoff. Reardon inside the 10, down at the 9. It's going to be a gain of about 3 more. And they bring up third down and 3. So far this year, Mid-America has been Sterling, Kansas. They won at home against Central Methodist 13-9, went to William Poole and lost 15-8, and then won last week at home 34-20 against Culver Stockton. Third down and 3 from the 9-yard line. Black under center. He's going to run the option. The pitch back to Reardon falls down. The ball is recovered by Mid-America Nazarene.
And what can you say?
Only thing you can do is say when you're having one of those days. And what I'm sure makes this a frustrating day for the men in maroon is the fact that this is against a team that by all rights should not be in this situation against them.
Yeah, you know they have to feel that right now they could be losing their chances to win the Heart of America Conference by losing this game, a team that probably the big 3 that the other conference foes are going to beat.
I guarantee you, I have a feeling you're right. And this is a team that Evangel should beat. Seibert's going to roll out. He throws it down. He knocks it down. He was looking for his favorite receiver behind him, Early Nash. Jay Helwig able to get back and knock it away. Second down and 10. The clock stops with 5:53 to go. The line of scrimmage is the 18-yard line.
Another big play by Helwig that time. He makes a lot of sacks behind the line of scrimmage, but he also has to get off into coverage quite often. Gets back in the flat, gets the hand on the ball, knocks it down.
Well, if Evangel were to lose today, it would force them to beat Valley and Baker the next 2 weeks in order to have a chance at winning the conference. On the option play, the pitch back to P.J. Back at the 10-yard line. By Marlon Coley, who came up and read that play well.
Reading that play well is an understatement.
Ball is going to be spotted back on the 11-yard line.
Yeah, can he do that from the get-go what was going on and then put the guy directly on his back after he makes the catch on the pitch?
Third down at 16, so big play for the defense, but from the 11, and Seibert is going to take time out. He had 2 receivers, Joe Russell and Early Nash, to the near side of the field. And he saw something out of the Crusader defense that he didn't like. So with a timeout of the field with 5:09 to go, third quarter, the Pioneers lead the Crusaders 19-0. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout on KADI.
Kind of a situation where it looked like if he had fallen forward instead of trying to down his feet, he may have had a chance to get the first down. Instead, they mark him back, where it's only about a gain of 7, and he's 3 yards shy.
They mark him back. How did they get that? But that's what they give him. And on Nazarene, first down, Warren turning towards the 25-yard line. He'll be down at about the 27. So they'll get the first down at that point. Or they should, and now they're going to call timeout and ask for a measurement. No, they don't either. They call timeout and take the first down. It looks like they're going to bring a change out. So the ball on the 27-yard line, first down and 10. 3.5 minutes to go here in the third. Evangel down by 3 scores. Scored 3 touchdowns, 2 minutes and 22 seconds last week on 3 consecutive plays. Not so this week. Black is right. Sets up. Black fires. Comes across the line of scrimmage, almost untouched. And right as he's getting the Black, Andre gets the body injury. Meanwhile, Black will deliver the ball, gets the first down. And if he doesn't, Black is sacked. So on first down, they hand off the rear. Green tries to leap over a defender. Gets inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. So the Crusaders, you hate to use the cliche, knocking down the door again as Stacey Reardon gets 4 yards, but again, they are inside the 20-yard line this time. They have it on the end.
Hey, but when you're in a game like this, why not use the cliche?
Nothing else has worked. Maybe they will. Second down and 6 for the 8-yard line. Black directing traffic out of the offset eye. Motion on the defensive line side of the ball. Hand off to Reardon. He'll spin. As he spins, he runs into Alex Bryant. And Bryant probably did just as much to tackle Reardon as did the defense. Because when Stacey went to spin, his own man was right there and he ran into him and stopped him. And then he was able to be thrown down after no gain. It'll be third down and 6.
And the problem is not sitting from the fact that Alex is not blocking his man, but he's not moving his man in that situation.
Thank you.